Welcome to In the Spotlight. Today we shall be talking to Cynthia and Charles Thompkins from EZCruise to find out what they are currently working on and in which direction they will be heading. We are eager to hear more, so let's begin. Could you please tell us about EZCruise and what you bring to the parking industry?
We're based out of Galveston, Texas, specifically focused in the Gulf of Mexico and the cruise parking industry that's focused in this market. It was founded in 2003 by Cindy, who was heading actually down to visit this area, go on a cruise, and realized really quickly that the port itself, who is kind of dominating that market, had a very unorthodox, not organized, not user-friendly, not cruise-friendly environment in terms of parking. And Cindy quickly realized that she could do something much better. And over time, she had purchased land and the parking aspects of it, and had gone full force into developing a pretty much monumental and revolutionary parking facility in the Galveston area, in Galveston, Texas, of course. And it's just grown and grown and grown ever since then. So we focus heavily towards any cruise traffic going out of the cruise terminal in Galveston. And now Galveston has grown from 2 terminals to now they're building another 3rd terminal, and they have 2 more terminals in the works for the next few years. So they're going to go to a 5 mega terminal cruise port, which will be one of the largest cruise ports, of course, in this area. And Carnival, as Cindy's mentioned, has actually has called Galveston their home port. So Carnival coming to Galveston and calling it its home port is massive for the cruise industry, and even more so for Galveston, because the parking areas in Galveston are very, very limited. So this gives us the ability to pretty much pick and choose our mode of operations for the cruise parking network in Galveston.
So you are operating in Galveston. Are there plans to expand into other geographical regions?
Here's what we've done geographically. EZCruise, because we own the land itself and the whole process, EZCruise in particular has considered metastasizing into different markets like the New Orleans markets and of course Florida. But the Galveston market is so big for us right now that we've held off on EZCruise in particular. And we've developed another company, which is Port Parking. And Port Parking has the ability and the growth aspirations of branching out outside of Galveston into other markets. But EZCruise in particular, because of its our model of owning the property itself and being in certain specific areas, its plan was to focus more particularly towards Galveston and this area. So there's 4 city blocks that EZCruise encompasses, which is fairly large in Galveston, owning the land and the area, and it's right directly across from the cruise terminal. So it's about a block and a half away from the entrance into the cruise terminal. We have never branched out with the opportunities to go international. There's a lot of people out when we go to the parking conventions. There's been a lot of interest from people internationally. But this is the first time we've ever, ventured into and stepped into those international waters to seek anyone that might be considering parking or running parking facilities in the Galveston or in this metroplex for the Houston, which is the 3rd largest city in the United States. It's unbelievable location relative to Houston, Louisiana, and all the states here for the cruise traffic. So it's a great opportunity. I'd like to see where it goes.
So Port Parking is your new international venture. What was your original 5-year plan with EZCruise?
Our 5-year plan was to, make the company successful, create an outstanding business model with a lot of opportunity for expansion, and then sell that and move on to a couple other endeavors. And so that's grown. And because after 5 years, it became so successful, we wanted to see if we could grow a little bit more. And we did. So we ended up extending that to another 5-year plan. And we grew even larger and was more efficient in our operations and our website design in our marketing and our SEO, and then we extended it to another 5 years. So it's now like a part of a 15-year plan. So, we just continue to grow and be more productive.
Can you tell us a little more about Galveston and the parking opportunities available on the island?
Here's one of the most important things. Because Galveston is a tiny island, the space is fairly limited. There is a huge opportunity for growing. As it is now, with 2 terminals, it's difficult. We can barely manage the traffic that we have, and nobody has really built a parking garage system. So the opportunity out there, straight up, the opportunity is staggering. We've had some big parking companies that have come in and tried to do this. One of them has done it in a very small regards, but EZCruise, because it's so large of a footprint, it's ripe for that opportunity. Clearly, we're the largest private parking system in the entire island in this region. We are very efficient.
We're so efficient in what we do. We got the contract for Houston port when they had cruise ships in there and over all these big names.
We just wanted to test our business model, and there was an opportunity when the Port of Houston entered into the cruise industry. There was an opportunity for us to run the entire cruise parking operation for the Port of Houston out of its big port with Norwegian, and Princess. We went up against the largest cruise parking companies like the Parking Spot, Airport Parking, Amco Parking. We went up against them in a tender to run the entire operation, and we won hands down. And we were very, very successful. Anyone can enter into a market, but it really takes somebody who's special to enter into the market and have outstanding reviews, extremely successful reporting techniques, very tight operational efficiencies, and being successful and making money. And we've done that. So that's important for EZCruise. Our customer base is in the several 100,000, and we have a very active customer base. So anyone that acquires this company will not just acquire the company and its operational efficiencies, but will also acquire a very substantial parking customer network that we've been fostering and managing for several years. That's exciting.
That is exciting. Finally, is there anything you'd like to add?
One thing I think is important also to add is, if for some reason someone is interested in branching out here, there's 3 or 4 things to mention about this industry. Galveston has always had the ability to enter into the gambling and gaming network. And if gambling comes to Galveston area and cruise traffic ends up going from 2 terminals to 5 terminals, Galveston is going to be an absolute mecca gold mine for anybody wanting to get into that parking world. Not only do we have EZCruise parking, we have port parking, and our son owns what's called Gal Park. And Gal Park is a metastasized network of managed parking lots all throughout Galveston Island. And, he's expressed a very strong interest in, the several thousand spaces that he has options to enter that into. Anyone that wants to purchase EZCruise or wants to acquire that, there's a very strong possibility of that. Someone might be interested in the whole ball of wax. You just don't know. I mean, if they did, they'd have a monopoly on Galveston Island. And having a monopoly on Galveston Island is pretty much unprecedented, especially for a public company that has the ability to expand and go up. They could dominate. It's pretty staggering, the opportunity that they have. We're a family-owned company, quite private, so the ability to gather funds is much more limited. But we're very successful in our endeavors for parking and our operations for parking and for the cruise industry. So we'll see. It's exciting. It's exciting times. Yeah, this is the first time we've ever mentioned this. And because of you guys, had it not been for you, we just continue to grow at a very reasonable pace and, continue to be successful. But because you guys have gotten involved, that opens the doors for pretty much unprecedented opportunities. And I want to thank you guys for that.
Well, it's a pleasure to work with you both and with EZCruise. We definitely look forward to seeing what offers may come your way in the near future. And don't forget to read the full transcript of the interview at www.parking-net.com. Thanks for tuning in and see you all next time.